Kicks 105.5. Justin Moore, point at you. It is 7:49 in the studio with me this morning. Mr. Barrett, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling like I'm a little hot here. A little hot.
Yeah, well, let's see. We played with this the other day. Let's see what I can do here to maybe even this. Try that.
Sure. That works.
Is that better?
That works. I'm not hearing the squeak that I was just hearing. So that's good.
It's the microphone, actually. I got to get a different microphone in here. Well, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you, too.
Happy April.
April Fools.
I'm glad you didn't come in a tutu or something like that. You know,
that's an image you wouldn't be able to get out of your head. So I would not do that.
I can't wash that out of my brain.
I can't unforget that or forget that. Anyway,
that's pretty funny.
Unsee that.
I'm not a fan of April Fools because pranks, and it makes me uneasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never been a big April Fool's guy. I mean, when I was a kid, of course, I got into it a little bit. But
when I was young, in radio, we used to do April Fool's pranks.
Yep.
Like we had a PSA running that told people that the phone companies were going to be clearing out the phone lines and that people needed to put baggies over the handsets and to keep the dust out of the house.
Oh God!
And we had lots of people call in. What time are they going to do that? One lady called and said, "We have a cordless phone. Do we have to worry about it?" I said, "Oh yeah, you got to put the receiver in a baggie."
Oh yeah, that signal's going to get there. It's gonna blow.
Oh, that was fun. But anyway,
well, happy April Fools, and the non-April Fools of the day is that snow that's coming Friday into Saturday.
But it's not going to stick. They're not. Look at the forecast. There's no mention of accumulations. They say precipitation amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch possible, but they're talking precipitation, not snow. So
I've been hearing varying reports of whether you need to pull the shovels back out and all.
No. We're not going to have none of that.
But what I would like to do is for all the Easter egg hunts, use white eggs. I think that if there was ever an April Fool, that would be the one to do.
Oh, that would be so mean for the little kids.
Yeah, but the parents would be so happy because the kids would just be entertained for days.
Hours, yeah. So we're doing our Easter egg hunt at North Congregational Church. We'll be doing the hunt at noon. I'll be broadcasting live from 11 to 12. So
on Saturday?
Bring your kid on out.
Excellent.
It's so fun to see the little ones doing their stuff.
He's 18 months, so he still might not totally get it, but still fun to do all the same. So,
it is.
Yeah.
It's nice to be out there with the other kids, and you can take them around and show them where stuff is. Pick that up.
Cool. As long as it's not a white egg, we'll be fine.
So, I had something to talk to you about. And I won't mention the company, but I got a letter this week from our insurance company. And they said that our house, we paid $120,000 for our house.
Sure.
And I'm insured evidently for a replacement cost of $238,000.
That's within reason.
Yep. And I have to go through with this check form now and check, shingle roof and, there's all this, we have to describe the house. Mm-hmm. Total square footage, number of floors, type of siding that it has.
So basically my job.
Yeah. Well, no, but it came in the mail.
Right.
So we got to do that, I guess.
Now, how confident are you to get the square footage of your house? Do you know the dimensions and all that?
No. And we're living in places that they don't call finished,
Right.
If you have any projects under construction, it has to be a certain, and I got one wall that's still Tyvek, or used to be until it blew off, so there's no siding on that wall. So
basically, they're leaving it up to you to say everything about your house.
Right.
They're going to take it verbatim, and that's good for you potentially because the Tyvek's over on the neighbor's lawn. So you have a section of your house exposed to elements that they're insuring for without even knowing about it.
Right.
So it's kind of a potential good thing for you.
It could be.
Yeah.
Huh. So you do that for your client?
Always, absolutely.
So if I'm insured with you, I'm never going to get this form.
No, you wouldn't. Some of our companies may send an inspector out, shortly after the inception of the policy if we write you a new policy. Only a handful, though. The rest really let it be up to us to do the I don't want to call it inspection, like kind of a review, on-site review, get as much detail about the house as possible, assess the risk, find the appropriate program, find the appropriate coverage, and go that route. So companies are entrusting a lot when they give you a questionnaire like that, saying, fill this out.
Right.
You know, a lot of times we see people do that, and then the company says, okay, well, you know, we're going to have an inspection of the property coming up on such a date. And shortly after that inspection, they get a notice saying, well, we're going to cancel your policy because your house doesn't meet any of these requirements. And
right.
so it's one of those things where it's kind of a roll of the dice, if
right.
you will. So our job is, of course, to pre-qualify and make sure that you're really qualified for the program that you're in.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's
cool.
a nice thing.
Yeah.
So one thing I had in my head, and it's a very quick conversation, kind of a wrap-up, but, you know, with the snow, with the sun, with the snow melts, with the rains that will eventually, inevitably come, we're getting to the time of year with basements getting water.
Oh, boy.
Everybody's favorite time of year.
The river in the basement.
Yeah, and it's one of the hardest things for us, but a lot of folks will call and say, you know, I've got water coming into my basement, and that's when we have to honestly say, I'm sorry, there's no coverage for that. So it's kind of my annual reminder to let people know that, you know, groundwater seepage, which is what that is not a covered peril on a homeowner policy, regardless of what kind of endorsements you can put on it.
So they need to make sure that they have the appropriate flow around installed. On the high side, dig down, put in the perforated tubing that goes into drainage, and then gravel and sand and everything on top of that.
Or just be proactive and
carry the water away.
And have things elevated in your basement.
Put everything up on salt.
Put everything up a little bit, you know. And that's one thing I had to do growing up in the house that I was in as a child. I mean, it was basically, do we pump it out or call Fish and Game every year? Because we could have just stocked it with fish and it would have been easier.
All right. So next week, and I'll tease you about it now.
Sure.
There was a news story this week about a lady who's driving to the airport early in the morning. She lost control of her Subaru as she was passing a state trooper. She hit the state trooper. She left parts behind on the road, took off, didn't stop.
Really? Is this the one in southern Vermont?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The state police tracked her down by her car parts. Pretty. So how would she report that to her insurance company?
That will be a fun conversation.
Yeah, it would be.
And I'm sure her side of the story will be a lot nicer than the state police side of the story.
Oh, I'm sure. It was slick and icy. I didn't want to try to get stopped because I was afraid I'd cause another accident. It didn't seem like it was very bad, so I just kept going.
Yeah, I just kept going, yeah. Yeah, he was off the road, but I had no idea I hit him. So.
Well, no, if you look at the video, he stayed on the road. He swerved and was able to maintain.
Oh, okay.
But you could tell he took a good thump in the door.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure her insurance company will probably not like the story.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. We'll talk next week.
Sounds great.
Good Policies brought to you by the Barrett Insurance Agency, online at thebarrettagency.com.
And on Facebook, Barrett Insurance Agency.
And the phone number.
748-5224.
We'll talk next
Have a great week, Val.